You know what human beings and bees love? Flowers. So why not show some love to this week's Game Over Greggy show sponsor, Pro Flowers. Right now, Pro Flowers has a special offer just for our listeners. Get $10 off your purchase of $29 or more. To snag this deal, go to proflowers.com, enter the code Greggy at checkout. I got Pro Flowers delivered to the house last week, true story. And you know what I did? I cried because Jen wasn't there to get them. But you know what Colin's girlfriend Erin did? She put them out on the kitchen table, and they looked like funfetti cakes. They were all like white flowers with like the sprinkles in there. It was really pretty. So do yourself a favor, help out this show, and support Pro Flowers. There has to be a bee in your life that needs flowers, or a person. So you can get $10 off your purchase of $29 or more at proflowers.com. Just go there and enter the code Greggy at checkout for a special deal. Buzz, motherfucker. Nick, what's your topic?
I'm going to pull up the name here. I want to talk about, oh God, Twitter. Of course, it has to reload again.
Lenna the Plug.
Lenna the Plug. I was going to say her, let me say her full name so people can look her up on Twitter.
You can search Lenna the Plug.
No, you can't on Twitter. It's something different.
If you Google
Lenna the Plug.
Lena space the space PLUG.
Right. Okay. So this is a fascinating concept, right? So a week ago, Tim said, Nick, you got to come watch this. Whenever Tim says that, I stand up promptly and go and watch it because he always has something fascinating for me. So this person, her name is Lenna, Enersesian. Is that how you pronounce her last name?
Lenna the Plug.
Lenna the Plug.
Nercesian.
She is a YouTube personality. You can follow her on Twitter. You can follow her on Instagram.
I would say she's an influencer.
An influencer, okay. So you wouldn't.
I wouldn't categorize
this is what I want to talk about with you guys.
YouTuber.
So a week ago, Tim said, "Come look at this," right? And he shows me a video of her. She vlogs on YouTube on her channel, Lenna the Plug. You can check her out there. Wow, you just hit 3 keys and now your account is just completely suspended.
That's hers. I was clicking over.
Oh, that was her. Got it. So Tim was like, look, you got to come watch this video. I'm like, okay, cool. So I come over and watch it, right? And it's her and her friend vlogging on YouTube talking about how the first time they did a threesome, right? And I'm like, this is interesting. I don't know how I feel about this, right? And then she goes on to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to let my friend have sex with my boyfriend and we're going to talk about it afterward. So let me be clear. She's not showing the actual act of the threesome with her and her boyfriend. She's not showing her friend having sex with the boyfriend. They're going to set it up. The boyfriend comes to and he says, this is me. This is who I am. Here's my channel. Come support me. And then boom, it cuts. And then all of a sudden it's post-coital and they're all hot and sweaty and they're talking about what it was like to have a threesome. Mm-hmm. And my reaction to this was, I was like, I want to get everyone else's reaction to this. That was mine, because my first reaction to this was, is this considered like porn, or is this just the natural iteration of like what a social influencer does now? Like, is this the natural, like, is this where social media is taking us? Where, let me finish. Where, you know, some people, an older generation will look at this and say, this is very risque, but newer generations are saying this is just someone sharing their life to the nth degree.
Yes. So let me jump in there. So
sure.
How I found this was I was on Facebook and I was just scrolling through just like the random news feeds and stuff. It was from the Kind of Funny group, and someone posted it, and it was one of those clickbaity sites
sure.
that are just like,
you won't believe what happens next.
Yeah. But like whatever the headline was, it was like this girl let her best friend fuck her boyfriend, right. And then they talk about it on camera, and I'm like, all right, you got me. So I click in it, and it was one of those, like, you have to click through a million different pages to like get the full story.
All the viruses.
It's like sentence by sentence, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to.
Here's my credit card info, sure.
Whatever you need. And I'm looking through, and I'm starting to get this, and it led me to the video that Nick just described that was headlined like, I let my best friend fuck my boyfriend.
Right.
I let my best friend have sex with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
And then next to it was a video that said, if I get 1 million subscribers, I will make a sex tape.
Sex tape at 1 mil.
And I was like, this sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, my gut reaction was, this girl's about to get ripped apart. Like, just from the internet and just from where everything's at.
Sure.
Looking at the video, though, the like to dislike ratio shocked me.
What is it at? Let's see here.
Sex tape currently is at 50,000 up, 19,000 down.
Okay. That's very positive.
But this,
I let my best friend.
positive.
I let my best friend have sex with my boyfriend. 16,5 up, 6,5 down.
Okay.
4.3 million views.
And the other one has?
It has 9 million views on sex tape at 1 million.
That's a lot of views, right? So I was shocked by it because, to answer your question of, is this where influencers are going? I think this is where influencers can go. And that's what's the shocking piece of this, is that we are at a point now where somebody can go from nothing to something so fast. For reference, on January 17th is when she put out the video saying that if we hit 1 million, we'll do a sex tape. She had 32,000 followers at that point.
Subs on YouTube.
Subs, yes. She now has 750 something.
768,000 right now.
So like sizable jump,
Yeah.
right? Now part of the deal is her boyfriend also needs to hit 1 million.
He's at
I
half
don't
a
remember
million
what he
right
was
now.
at. He's at over half a million now. So I'm like, all right, obviously people are involved in this and intrigued by this. We all just watched the video of her talking about the experience they had with her boyfriend and all that. It was like a 12-minute video.
Yeah.
And this is these people's lives.
Yeah.
Like they just like we sit here at this table and talk about the things that we do.
Right.
They talk about the things that they do.
Sure.
And what they do is just a little bit more
God bless him.
there. You know?
Well, that's the thing. Like the Lenna the plug not having any reference before you said this to me, and we talked about this at lunch today, getting ready for this topic. What I've been able to dig up is she got popular on Instagram first. Is that right? Because she has like revealing pics there, and then she puts up a private Snapchat. When you click through all her things, like off of her social media, you can go to her website or whatever, and then it gets to like lennaplugs.com. Which is then she has models on here, like Lenna's private Snapchat, and there's wish lists, model sign up, popular items, her profile and stuff. And it's, hi, it's Lenna the plug here. Welcome to the only place where you can get access to my private 18+ Snapchat, as well as some extra exclusive time with me. As you may know, my public Snapchat has grown tremendously. Thank you. And as much as I wish I could talk to everyone, it's been difficult to keep up. Due to high demand, I've created this private Snapchat, blah, blah. So I guess she said Snapchat more than anything.
So you can subscribe to this for $30 a month.
$30 a month.
They're going down there.
And then over here on her Instagram, she's got 643,000 followers right now. And I don't know what this whole thing has done to that number. If this was always high, if she already had this whole Snapchat sex tape thing going on, you imagine then that was already high enough to begin with. Is Kevin showing? He was showing some of the private Snapchats there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so to clarify, and there are a lot of pictures of her clothed on Instagram, obviously, but there are also a lot of pictures of her doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Naked, sexual acts, things like that. But this is what's
Are there?
fascinating to me.
Yes. And that's been her thing.
That I don't know.
That's
That
been
was
her
from
thing.
her
Twitter. That was from her Twitter.
That was from her Twitter.
Yeah, if you go on
Okay.
Twitter, you can see.
So
you can see naked pictures of her.
This isn't me judging, by the way.
No,
This is me trying to get a
absolutely
grasp on who she is and what she does.
She just does a lot of scantily clad photo shoots and even more than that on Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat, all of the social media. Right?
Yeah, Twitter where you can. There she is naked on Twitter.
Now
Okay.
every place has different rules.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I was seeing that she was having issues where her Instagram keeps
Does she have a
getting
cutout
taken
head
down.
like I do? Go up one more. Look at that.
That's a body pillow head.
okay,
It's
never
not a cutout
Oh,
head.
that's even better. You can lay on it. So I mean, so this is what's fascinating to me about this, right? It's like obviously we're accepting of porn here, like we've talked about porn,
Yeah.
we've dissected that. This doesn't resonate to me on the same level as a porn star, though.
Well, she doesn't even think of herself that way.
Yeah,
And
she
like,
said that
she
in
made
there,
it clear
yeah.
in,
Her
in the video
1 million,
about
yeah.
the sex tape. She was saying like people, when you post naked pictures online, porn comes to you and tries to get you to be
Yeah, she said
involved.
she's been offered
and she's
porn
like,
a lot.
I don't want any part in that. She's like, I'd be down for a sex tape with my partner.
Sure, but
and
then-
putting that out there.
But then at that point, once that line gets crossed, does she become something more or different than an influencer? Does she go into the porn star realm?
See, I don't think so. I just think that that's just what they do. It's the same stuff like on Patreon, for example. Like some of the most successful Patreons are the people that draw the hentai and all that stuff. And it's like,
Colin's last stand is drawing
Colin's
hentai.
last stand. Yeah. No, I just think that that's just what they do, right? And like she's totally in control of her body, what
Her
she's
message,
doing
yeah,
with her
yeah,
body,
yeah.
her message.
Right.
Being like $30 a month gets you her private Snapchat. It's like, hey, do you? You're
More
opening
power to
yourself
you.
out for criticism in any way, but like you're doing what you want to do. And I think it's different because it's not getting involved with the porn level where there is the, white business dude at the top profiting off it all.
Potentially, but then you also have like the closest analog I have to this obviously is Kim Kardashian, right? Like clearly, on some level, Lenna has been inspired by how Kim Kardashian's career has unfolded, and Kim Kardashian obviously is someone who's very much known for being calculated. Her group is calculated in how they disseminate these quote unquote oops accidental things, right? So what I like about her is she's just taking that curtain away and saying, "Fuck that! I'm going to do this. I have this clear marketing push toward this. Clearly, like she hasn't said how she's going to distribute the sex tape. So my guess is if she's smart, and if she's watching
She
this,
very is.
you should very much do
very
this.
is.
She should absolutely sell it.
I'm
Very
not.
much
I very
is.
not. I very not smart.
I like food. But yeah, so obviously she's taking a page out of Kim Kardashian's rule book and saying like, look, there's something about a person of this kind of a personality, with this kind of charm, with this kind of looks and body that is in right now. How do I market myself? How do I become more than like how can I be sexually explicit and also be seen in the same light as Kim Kardashian, who, by the way, is seen as a thought leader for an entire generation of people. And I think she's doing it. And that's why it's fascinating to me, because it would be so easy for me to sit here and write her off as, oh, that's just another porn star. But she's not. She's like, for some reason, and I can't necessarily, I don't know where that line is, but for some reason, to me, she is a personality that's highly fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, I think it's because she's using things like YouTube to get her message across. Like I've been arguing for years now that porn stars, the successful porn stars, and the people that are going to be the Jenna Jamesons of the next generation are the ones that are using Twitter and Instagram and social media.
You always talk about Riley Reid.
Reid.
Yeah.
Riley Reid is so good on social media because she is who she is. She has her own website,
right?
And like she works for these big companies, but like that's what
she's building
she
her
wants
own
to
brand.
do. She has her own
so
brand.
take that back down to 10,000 feet. If she started like this, like, so Riley Reid obviously started as a porn star. Like she's known as a porn star forever. She will be known as a porn star, right? And that's not for better or for worse, whatever, how that's going to affect your career. That's what it's going to be. If Lenna decides to go through with the sex tape, and then she does a follow-up sex tape, and then she does more of those, does she then go into that porn star realm? And is she quote unquote stigmatized as that? Or is she still in a, like, because this is the way I see her right now, is that I'm like, wow, this is a very interesting and new type of internet celebrity to me, where she somehow can skate the line of doing these things that would be considered by an old generation as stigmatized and bad, but she's doing it much in the same way that Kim Kardashian was able to say, hey, I have a sex tape that's coming out, and now I'm a multi-millionaire because I am a brand that is well respected.
Well, I think if you were to ask, what does Kim Kardashian do for a living? And you were able to describe that, which is I'm on TV all the time, and I have makeup lines, and I have apparel and all this stuff. I don't think the first place you go to is the sex tape. I think with this Lenna girl,
sure, but
if you ask, what does Lenna do for a living, and if she has 3, I mean, are you able to just say, yeah, she's on YouTube a lot, but really it's a little bit more than that. So I don't know how. I think
that's fair.
I think how you boil it down is how you describe.
You're saying the majority of the things she does is more sexual than what Kim Kardashian.
I think if she keeps making these sex tapes, yeah,
sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. Wasn't Kim's sex tape like not consensual?
Yeah,
like I mean, the sex was not the releasing of the tape, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Ray J did a whole bunch of weird shit?
No, but she's made a lot of money from it. And she's been.
but
I think that's what put her on the. I think
that.
Well,
No,
but
don't get me wrong. That's where we all.
Well,
not
that's
all,
what I'm
but
saying,
the
like-
majority of people heard from it, but I also heard about it in a way of like, that fucking sucks for her.
Yeah.
Why does that? I gotta happen. Blah, blah.
But that's the thing. I think, yes, it sucked for her, but if you were asking what Kim Kardashian does, I would say she takes fucking oranges and makes orange juice out of, lemons and makes lemonade out of them, right? Like, I'm like, anyone, you can eat an orange too. But that's the thing about Kim K, is that there's always that thin veil of, oh, I'm offended by all these things that have happened to me, or at least the sex tape when she came out, but clearly she's capitalized off it.
I
And
think
at this point,
Kim's in a totally different situation.
I don't think so. I think that Kim is in a situation where she still has to put up the front that her origins are quote unquote naughty or whatever, and this girl is just saying, like, let's call it fucking spade a spade. I'm a sexual being. I'm gonna let you in on my sex life, and you're gonna be fascinated by this, and there's not gonna be anything wrong with that.
I don't think Kim does that though. I think Kim's a little, no matter what, it's like a veiled thing where it's like she'll model, but she's not. It's like Kim Kardashian's not releasing a sex tape, and if she did, it'd be an art thing, not a straight up
Kanye
sex thing.
No,
right?
but she is very much still behind that mainstream curtain of, like, I watch a lot of her show. My wife likes her show, so Keeping Up with the Kardashians is totally fake, and it's totally made up, and it's totally like, oh, I'm hurt, yada yada. It's all that made up bullshit action or a drama, whereas this is real life, and that's why I think this is so fascinating to me, and that's why I think this, on some level, is almost like more important to humanity right now than the mindless entertainment of the Kim Kardashian show, or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I should say.
I mean, I disagree only.
Am I just ascribing way too much value to both of these things?
Well, I just think that I think Kim is like out of the conversation entirely. I think that what she does is she's part of a rich family. Things happen to her. She's a celebrity without even trying to be celebrity, right? Like any random person can't just put a sex tape out and have this type of following, right?
No.
This is the product of people that grow up being able to say, look at me, listen to me, do what I say, and are used to like all of that type of system being in place.
That's what I'm saying.
And it reminds me of back in the day of oh man, I'm a dude growing up in the 90s. Give me a handy cam so I can make a Jackass video of me and my brother fucking throwing a pumpkin at a car. Right?
Me and my brother fucking.
Like, but like, I think
By the way,
that
if we
this
hit
is
1 million
just,
subscribers, Tim will fuck us.
I will. But I think that's what this is. It's like, they grew up realizing they can do this stuff, and that's kind of how I got where I am at, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I clearly she like this she's clearly emulating Kim Kardashian. There's no way to like look at her and be like, you have the same look, the same same
I
look.
don't really
Lives in
bring
LA.
Kim into it at all, but
I don't know.
I'm not. Again, I'm not denigrating Kim Kardashian. I have the utmost respect for the woman. She has taken every opportunity she's gotten and turned it into fucking gold. So that's great. I'm just saying, like, I bet if we were to sit here and interview her and say who was your biggest inspiration for doing what you're doing right now, she would be like Kim K. Like, absolutely, because she's a person that said that you could do. Like, Kim Kardashian proved that you could have a sex tape come out. Right, something that was and have it propel you, right, and not be ashamed by it, and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna. That happened, and everyone's interested in me right now, and here's why you should also be interested in me right now, right? So what I'm saying is, it's fascinating to me to watch the new evolution of that happening right here, where they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I like sex, and I'm gonna go do this, and it's not because I'm getting paid to do it, it's because I'm turned on by the fact that other people are watching it, and I want to share this life with you. Like, and she said that here too, where in some of her vlogs, she's like, I just want to share this with you guys. Like, it's exciting for me. And I'm like, whoa, that's weird. Like, the old man in me is like, oh, I don't know about that. Like,
well, that's why you're talking about how like the thumbs up are good and the comments aren't terrible. Some of the comments are terrible. Obviously.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But it is the fact that it's the whole point of that you and I are the old men, and I never would have seen this unless you know, because you brought it up and brought it to the table, and then we were all talking about it. But it's like the people who are consuming this content and putting TV out of business and watching us on YouTube and living on YouTube, they are used to seeing people go. And this is, I think, an example of what I always argue about video games applied to YouTube, is that it's just silly putty, and everybody's pulling it in a different direction and doing whatever. It all started right here in this very, centralized thing. We're all doing a very similar thing, but then you get out onto these things. And for me, when you said this, like, honestly, the video I was most interested in is that I let my best friend have sex with my boyfriend, right? And I wanted this to be more like Guys We Fucked, which is a podcast I love to listen to and have them talk about their sexual stories and just news and all these different things. I was hoping this would have been more. When I first started, I'm jumping in. It's going to be them having a conversation of, all right, you had sex with my boyfriend. What's it like? What did you think of this?
Phil DeFranco cuts and shit, like editing style.
But then instead, this was a much more vloggy. We're here together. He's coming over. We're drinking tequila. He's here. Him talking to the camera about it, and then that was my whole thing. Because I wanted the reaction part to be 7 minutes long, when in reality it was 2 minutes, and they were all kind of drunk. You know what I mean? I was like, I would have loved to have had a podcast with them about that. You know what I mean? Like, what was it like?
Yeah.
To have sex with? And that was the other thing too, where it was a threesome, which is fine. But I would much rather it have been, you had sex with my boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I was in the room or whatever. It needs to make you comfortable or stuff. What was that? But it's an interesting idea of. I think the first time I heard about Guys We Fucked, it was you don't hear that every day, and that's a provocative headline. And and I'm like, yeah, great, that's awesome. Why not? How many? You know what I mean? Go ahead and talk about your sexual experience and whatever, all these different things. And so by the time we get to this, where it is a YouTube video of, we just had sex, let's talk about it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I wanted more out of it. I have all these notes and criticisms for you of what I want from your video vlog podcast about fucking each other.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, Andy,
I just want to jump in and say I love that they said collaborating on a dick.
That was my favorite.
That's my favorite.
It fucking sold me. That shows exactly where they're at.
I pictured like just Jay-Z and Linkin Park collaborating like in that duo thing they did. Like,
Collision Course.
Yeah.
This is Collision Course for the next generation.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I'm fascinated by this, and I'm fascinated by where this is going to go. And obviously, if they make the sex tape, I'm going to watch it. Why not? Right? They want you to. That's the thing. It's like there's a part of me that's like, oh, don't tell people you're going to watch this. But I'm like, this is like almost like a Brave New World to me.
But that's the thing, is it is though, right? Because I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talk about porn on the show all the time and stuff, of people watching porn and you watching porn and what you look for and da da da.
Sure.
And in the same way, you always talk about it when you talk to the girls of a younger generation or whatever, and they're talking about the porn they watch, and you're always like, no, when I grew up, that was not a thing. Nobody was talking about this.
Yeah, when I grew
how
up,
they
obviously,
masturbate, all these different things.
And still, to a degree, I feel that porn is still stigmatized, right? Of something that's bad that you shouldn't do and you shouldn't watch. And you always hear about people talking about just a myriad of different things when it comes to porn and how terrible it is.
Shout out.
But I feel like people like Lenna are changing that public perspective, because I think it should be, right?
Well, here's my thing. Do you think that, here's the thing, I apply everything I always talk to about video games and industry I'm far more knowledgeable about than YouTube.
Sure.
Is that I think, again, this is just like the violent video games thing, where it's stigmatized for our generation and the generations above us and the people who make rules and are in Congress, But in the same way I was talking about with violent video games, when all those people die, and it just is the people who have grown up with it, this is rock and roll. What everyone's so terrified. This is rap, where everybody's so terrified of it, but then you age out all the people who don't get it.
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, it's just people talking about sex on the internet.
So what you're saying is I need to cryogenically freeze myself for the next 30 years? So I can fit in?
I mean, I don't. Nick, you can go
60?
forward, backward, sideways. You're never going to fit in. You're never going to fit in with the pop
I'm
culture.
always going to be the bad egg.
Yeah, you're always going to be that rough and tumble Nick Scarpino, producer, seducer.
Sad.
Got a good beard though.
The beard
Thank
is
you.
good.
You got to get yours out. You got to grow yours out.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm most shocked.
Fuck!
What?
It just dawned on me we hired another guy with a beard.
Yeah, but he's got really cool anime hair. So it works out
really
well.
cool
Yeah,
anime
that's
hair.
true.
You gotta quit complimenting the hair, guys. It's going. I'm gonna be bald in like a year or two.
You're not. We talked about
We
this.
gotta.
Where's
we
it going? It looks great.
We just gotta.
Looks like
I
it's going
told.
in the right
I
places.
told Nick it's like
We
when you
talked about
have.
this. Take
It's like
Propecia.
I have a relative who. It's like my hair is a relative who has a terminal illness.
Jesus.
And I'm just like showing it the
thick,
last, like I'm just giving it, maybe he wants to go to Paris and see the world. Like I'm just trying to show it a good
Yeah.
time before it leaves.
You want to just leave him on the
yeah,
river
I'm
side?
just taking advantage
You're
of
doing
it.
the
Where Tom
Jack
Cruise's
Nicholson
team died in Mission
/ Morgan Freeman bucket list movie.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Did you
Where
see
do
the
you
new
think it's
poster for
thinning?
that?
I'm sorry.
It's
What
on
now?
top.
It was too slow, too serious.
I see it. It was
good.
I don't think it's thinning. It is thinning.
Is that a joke poster or is that a movie coming?
There's a movie coming.
Too
It
slow,
wasn't
too
actually called
serious.
that, but that was like they mocked the Too Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah. They did like a little
What
parody
movie?
poster for that bucket list movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, from back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
I
fuck
thought you're
it's
telling me
called.
there's a new bucket list
One More
coming
Go
out.
or something like that.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds like a new
I
bucket
don't
list
know.
movie.
I don't know if there is or
Freeman.
is not a new
Oh,
bucket list.
where there
but
is
How
some-
Dirty Grandpa came
Uh,
out.
Al Franken?
I know exactly
Alfred
what
from
you're. I know exactly
Dark
what you're
Knight.
talking
Oh, Michael Caine.
Michael
I'm
Caine.
Michael Caine.
No, it's not Las Vegas. They're doing it again.
There is another Las
There's another
Vegas,
one.
I think.
They're just like they're not dead yet. Let's keep fucking churning out these
Michael
films.
Caine.
It's something like that. I
I'm
don't know.
Michael Caine.
I don't know what it is.
I'm
And this
Michael
is Morgan
Caine.
Freeman.
What I'm
couldn't
most
think-
impressed by and shocked by with
Yeah.
this
Bring you back
is
from the dead.
the fact that this isn't just getting fucking destroyed and hated by everybody
Yeah.
and torn apart, but like that they're obviously she has a following, like, but she's doing it right to create a following, make this a business, but knowing the rules of terms of service on all the different accounts, like they blurred out the underwear scenes that were a little too revealing
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whereas
The post-
on
the
Twitter, you're allowed to
post-coital
post nudity or whatever. So she did. On Instagram, she keeps getting her account deleted because you're
Well, you get
allowed to show-
reported. Isn't that the thing? People report you and then shit
get
happens.
suspended.
there's
and
certain things
stuff.
you can't show.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying they report it. So like, oh, nip slip.
But it's like it's just nuts that this is turning into an industry.
Going in Style,
Going in
starring
Style.
Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman.
I'm Michael Caine.
Is that Michael Caine?
You gotta see when I do. I've queued you up 3 times to do your Morgan Freeman.
Alan Arkin.
Oh, I was doing never.
I'm Michael Caine.
And the waters are receded.
Never. Well, I just couldn't figure. Bring
Bruce
you
Wayne.
back from the dead.
You have to save Gotham. Gotham City.
Why is he Indian?
Gotham City.
What?
I'm Michael
Desperate
Caine.
to pay the bills and come through for their loved ones, 3 lifelong pals risk it all by embarking on a daring bid to knock off the very bank that absconded with their money. Director Zach Braff.
Zach Braff.
Joey
doing it.
King, Morgan Freeman, and Margaret.
Didn't Zach Braff have that Kickstarter
Yeah,
for the
everyone got
movie?
all upset about it.
What happened? Did they ever make it?
What movie?
It was like a sequel to a movie he was in that everybody wanted but nobody would fund. So he
Garden
put it on
State?
Kickstarter. Maybe it was it might have been a sequel to that.
Someone said her comments are saying that she already has a sex tape.
I'm Michael Caine.
Yeah. It's, the comments,
I'm
somebody
sure
saying.
somebody leaked it or
Well, I
ripped
don't know
it or
about that. I'm
something
just
like
saying
that.
I want to see if there's other stuff she's done because I've seen pictures of her doing like sexual acts.
It's right here.
Send me the link.
You already
for
have a
research.
sex tape, Lenna, the plug. Somebody laugh.
NXX.com.
Nick's
Nick's on it.
going
Nick's
right
going to get
now.
to the bottom of this sex tape business right
I
now.
just want to see.
I think it's, I'm totally fine with, I know the question wasn't, are you okay with it, I guess.
How do you feel about
I
it?
guess here's what I'm surprised that this is just like you are. No, that's fine. Do your thing. That's where we've gotten to in 2017
Yeah.
of like, all right, cool. Go do your
I mean,
thing.
I just think that this isn't going to fundamentally change the world, and it's not like everyone's going to grow up and decide that they're going to do this. It's just like
People are already doing this.
Yeah, people are already doing
Different
it. and-
strokes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. I do know what you're saying. But
I just-
I
I feel-
watching the video, like parts of it, I was just like, I can't believe it's real. Like the way that they were talking about it all. But I'm like, these are real people. Anyone has access to put videos on YouTube, which means you're gonna get fucking 4 nerds talking about Adam Sandler movies 20 years later.
I'm pretty cool. I'm not a nerd. Come on, guys.
And you're gonna get people talking about sex in every type of way because people have opinions. And I mean, shit.
There's got to be.
Do you?
Well, I'm more interested now. Is there's got to be someone has to have done a YouTube show that is just, hey, we just fucked. Now let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Them in bed. You figure?
Yeah, that's a
not-
good gimmick. That's a really good
Oh,
gimmick.
you want to start with me, Nick?
You want to do it?
Episode 1, episode
Let's
001.
call it Back Hair. The Adventures of Greg and Nick.
Sure.
Okay. To clarify, there is in fact a sex tape of her online currently that you can see. So I don't know where that puts us, but I think we're still in the same place.
I mean,
What
it
do
puts
you
us.
mean? What does that change?
well, she already has a sex tape. I don't know.
Well, it's
So-
probably her putting it somewhere privately, maybe.
I would
getting
say.
ripped.
I would say
in a couple
either it's
places.
another fucking leak, it's a hack, it is all of her Snapchats compiled into one thing
Maybe
or some
that's
shit
it.
like that.
That
I
might
mean,
be
clearly she's telling you it's never happened the way she's wanted it to happen.
The
So-
problem is, like, with this conversation, is there's so many terms that don't have real definitions. Like, what is a porn star? What is sex tape versus porn? Like, is a naked picture of you porn? And
That's a good
If
question.
not, why not?
The human body's beautiful, guys.
It is
It's
a
really
beautiful
accessible.
thing.
Not
Very
mine.
true.
But I just think that there's like a
Same
lot of
here.
labels here that like turn this into something it doesn't necessarily need to be. Like if you're getting paid for sex acts on media, does that make you a porn star? Because like
know.
in
Maybe.
which case, like if you posted a picture on her private Snapchat, or I say private, but that's what she sells it as.
Yeah.
If you buy access to that for naked pictures, are you a porn star? Is the transaction of money the answer?
Maybe.
If I sold a
But
dick
then,
pic,
I don't know. So we're
Would I
getting
be
into
a
a
porn
bigger
star?
argument,
Yeah.
right? A bigger argument would be then
Take Venmo?
what's the difference between someone who does that and then a highly paid model that like will go topless, right? Like
Well,
I'm talking for like a fashion spread, and that happens in
well,
Europe all
what
the
is
time.
the difference? Like what is the line between provocative sexual images and just modeling? And where there is a line.
You should
somewhere.
click on Urban Dictionary for porn star.
Yeah, that was
the best
not the best definition.
Maybe
of
maybe Webster's would be better.
Well, they have porn, but yeah.
How do they define it?
This is just porn, not
And then
star.
a bigger question: what is art? You know,
I mean, are video games art? Is
why
the
are we
question that I
here,
really
though?
want to
Take a
know.
hit, bro.
Yeah,
Just
why-
fucking
why
take
are
a
we-
hit.
I mean, the definition of porn from dictionary.com, sometimes porno, pornography, sexually explicit videos, photographs, writings, or the like produced to elicit sexual arousal. Number 2, television shows, articles, photographs, etc., thought to cater to an excessive, irresistible desire or interest in something. But I think honestly, this is just, it comes down to how she defines herself, right? She doesn't define herself as porn. And I think that where it gets interesting is this is a very textbook definition of what porn is. But when we say porn, I think we're talking about the industry of pornography. And I think right now that there isn't a clear, and this is just as obviously somebody who doesn't follow this closely enough, there doesn't seem to be a clear delineation of I'm a YouTube person, a Snapchat person, an influencer person. I'm not in the traditional porn world. What does that make me? What is that? And not that she cares. She says she's not a porn star, so I guess she isn't a porn star.
Well, I mean, if maybe she went to some like really high, like I don't know who are the really big important porn sites.
Bang Bros.
Yeah, if she like got signed
Pornhub,
onto Bang Bros
Brazzers.
or whatever, and then left to go independent, it's like you guys leaving IGN. Like
Yeah.
you're cutting out the middleman. You're going. You're catering directly to your audience. So
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
that's
in
what
this
she's
case,
doing.
she's more like the Captain Sparkles of the world. Like she didn't even need the IGN.
sure.
She just already did her
She's a
thing.
PewDiePie.
You know, she's like a PewDiePie.
Yeah.
I don't know why Kevin's giving me that look.
Because Kevin does this all the time. He loves ruining the show.
Why do you say that?
Because I love you so
Why do
much.
you say
Kevin.
that?
I love you. Hey, can you point the fan at me a little bit or get it oscillating or
fuck.
something?
Go
This
ahead.
side of the room's really hot. We're dying over here. And if Nick says it's hot, you know it's
It's
hot.
hot. It's sweaty hot. We can probably open the windows too. It's pretty hot
I
here.
think that like her defining herself as a porn star.
Can you kick the fan up a little too?
Her defining herself as a porn star.
Like I mean, I think we define like yeah, that's porn, right? Like if someone steals shit out of car windows and they're like, oh, but I'm not a thief. Like no, you are. Right?
But again, porn star doesn't mean anything. That's the problem.
It means a lot to me, man.
Yeah, okay, then you can say whatever you want.
Right? So that way.
Isn't there that shitty saying by that one congressman who's like, you
not-
know it when you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that the
That's
thing?
No,
true
it's
though. I mean,
the-
but there's some merit to that, right? Of saying like that just means it's subjective to everyone. Porn is porn in the eye of the beholder. But there is an argument to be made of saying like, look, if you've got a video of you giving a blowjob to someone and it's on a porn site, how can you not consider yourself a porn star?
Potter Stewart,
Star.
Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, famously said, I shall not today attempt further to define the kinds of material I understand to be embraced within that shorthand description of hardcore pornography. And perhaps I never could succeed in intelligibly doing so. But I know it when I see it. And the motion picture involved in this case is not that. And that's how he describes hardcore
Yeah.
porn and stuff.
I mean, going back to what I'm saying about like the definition stuff, like Kim Kardashian in my mind, is not a porn star.
Correct.
No, correct.
She's been in a sex tape,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
Correct, absolutely. I think maybe it comes down to your primary source of income. Like if you're making your most money from, sex tapes and stuff like that on the internet, how do you not classify yourself as a porn star? I don't know. It's very.
I
weird.
feel like it's the star part of it. Just like you're assuming a lot.
Porn
That's your
actress?
problem.
You're not a
That's
star
where
to
you get offended is like
Yeah,
when they
Well,
jump
so, I
ahead.
don't mean that. I just mean like, well, it's okay if it's a porn performer,
Pump
like
the
someone
brakes.
who's
Yeah.
doing that. I don't want to say porn star. Like you don't
Doing
necessarily have to
porn.
put- Sure.
Right?
But would you? But that's that I think is what we're trying to define here, and it's ambiguous. But to play devil's advocate, like okay, of course, a case could be made that Lenna's doing porn. Like this is all pornographic. It is. But that's why it's so fascinating to me because I wouldn't define it as that. For some reason, to me, she goes more into the realm of social influencer or personality than porn actress.
I mean, definitely, but I think that it comes down. It's a case by case of the content. The YouTube video that we watched was not porn.
Sure, but if you search clearly her Snapchat or Twitter, there is a lot more provocative, more risque.
I would say that
videos
some
and
of those
photographs.
are pornographic images. That doesn't make her a porn star.
It's like the extra content, I'd say. Like
the bonus content.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are her
It's
bonus
You're watching
episodes
The
on
Dark Knight, but
Patreon.
you get
Yeah,
to listen
exactly.
to Chris Nolan talk about
Exactly.
how you can't see anything in this movie.
Like I follow Mia Khalifa on Instagram, former porn star.
Well, so that's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Where she was one of those that she got so popular in mainstream culture that she started to crest the porn star into mainstream star, right?
Yeah, and she stopped and she said, "Fuck it, moving to Austin." And I don't know what she does now, but still follow her.
Yeah.
Big fan. Big fan.
Her description on YouTube is "Come for the booty, stay for my irresistible charm."
Yeah. Okay. So
That's how. I mean, that was. Did you read my bio?
No.
that's
mine
says
like
the
what
same
you're doing
thing.
there, like you- Yeah, I'm surprised we're here hung up on the label, I guess, but I just never thought of it either that way.
Well, I feel like that's the argument, right? And that's the big argument that I think we're all on one side of is this porn or is this like something new or just what
I think
social
it's something
media
new,
is.
but I don't know what it is. Because I think
Sure.
porn star defines that you are in the porn industry as we know it, doing that porn thing. I don't know.
She's like an indie porn star.
Sure. But I wouldn't even say.
I'm joking.
I know
That-
you're joking, but I wouldn't even say she's a porn star. That's the case that I'm trying to make here is that I don't think that is the case, but I can't define why. I can't explain why.
It's the industry thing. I think. I think
Maybe
that,
it's just
like,
the personality thing. Maybe it's that she's starting with personality first, and the sexuality is clearly a trope to get people to invest in her as a personality. You
Yeah, I think
know?
if you can make money off it and it's not hurting anybody, who gives a fuck?
Oh no, I don't give a fuck either.
no,
I mean,
yeah,
again,
no.
more power to her. She's
Absolutely.
smart. I feel like at some point, Tim, sex tape.
To
I
get
mean-
kind of funny to 1 million.
that's the thing is like I'm smart. I know that's not going to help anything.
No,
If I
people
thought
will
that was gonna
unsub if
work,
that's the
I would
thing.
have done that a long time
Yeah,
ago.
That's fair. That's fair.
But-
Well, more power to her.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah,
Unsubscribed.
250 away, pretty much 250,000.
She actually has a
Way to do it.
plug as her headline or her
Yeah.
header.
Yeah, I
image.
want to know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Am I missing the
I
entomology
think
of
it's
that?
butt plug.
I don't know, but
That's-
her Twitter not account, but just the name is Young Butt Plug.
Yeah.
So
But her
interesting.
website is Lenna Plugs. So I don't know if.
And look who follows her.
Obvious-
Phil DeFranco, of course.
Yeah,
Come on.
and I mentioned him earlier. How weird.
Oh, wow. It's
I'm
like
sure
you're trying to get
he
another
talked
job.
about her.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Lena.
Yeah.
You're
good
welcome
job.
to come on the show and tell us how you define yourself anytime. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe here, go to Patreon there, check out Kind of Funny Games over there, or see a playlist of some stuff Kevin's assembling over there. Kevin's weird.